Hi everyone, this is Lori here with Lori Hooks. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So today's video is the final reveal for the Hooked on Wreaths Winter Edition of the Hooked on Wreaths collaboration that I've been doing with Rebecca over at Yarn and Pajamas, and we've been doing this since early 2023. So I guess I'll start out with a recap. If you are not familiar with this, Rebecca reached out to me I think it was actually late, like in December 2022, and asked me if I wanted to do a collaboration over the course of 2023. And she suggested doing wreaths for the seasons, which I thought would be a fun collaboration and that it would be fabulous to get to know Rebecca. And so I agreed, and I'm so glad that I did. In some ways, making these wreaths has taken me out of my comfort zone. I had never made wreaths before. There was some additions that I made to some of them that were, that were new things for me. And I had a lot of fun with this collaboration. And it was also fabulous to get to know Rebecca over the course of the year. We've gotten to know each other a little bit more through our chatting back and forth. And I'm kind of sad that the collaboration is over. I hope that we can come up with something else to do again together in the future. So I'm going to show my wreaths over the course of the year. I'm going to show pictures, not the actual wreath, because when I unpacked when we moved back home a few weeks ago, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check my other videos. There's a whole lot of chat about it. But finding them all and getting them on here would be difficult, so I just decided to show pictures instead. So we started out with our spring wreaths, which we revealed those in March of 2023, and I will show mine here. So when I think of spring, I think of, the new beginnings of flowers, the leaves on the trees and, bees pollinating and stuff like that. So I decided to base my spring wreath on spring colors and flowers. And of course I had to include a bee on there. So that was my spring wreath. That pattern is actually from Repeat Crafter Me, and excuse me if I remember correctly, and I just pretty much did exactly what she had on hers. It was a free pattern on her blog. So then next was summer, which the summer reveals were around June. And when I think of summer, I think of camping. We have a little tiny trailer that we take camping, and that kind of thing. Campfires, s'mores, all those type of things. That's what I think of when I think of summer. So for my summer wreath, I decided to do a camping scene. The trailer isn't anything like ours. I had to use one of those cute vintage trailers. But this wreath was completely, I found patterns for each of the components, but in terms of the putting together and all that kind of stuff, that was all my own thoughts on how to do that, and I was really happy with how that wreath came out. And yeah, so that was summer. Fall was where things started to kind of get crazy. We got right at the beginning of when fall wreaths should have been getting started, was right when I got flooded and displaced from my home. So Rebecca agreed to put wreaths on hold for a little bit, and we revealed them late. It is what it is. Life happens. So here is my fall wreath. Again, when I search up wreaths, like for my fall one, I was having troubles with the components. Like I think of fall colors, I think of the leaves, those type of things, but I was having trouble with putting things together. So I really spent a lot of time Googling and looking around at different wreaths and components and stuff like that. And that is how I came up with this one. So it has a burlap bow on it. And of course, when you think of fall, you think of pumpkins and fall leaves, and so that's where I came up with the components for the fall wreath. And now we are on to winter, and I'm sorry our reveals are a little bit late. Christmas, it's a busy time of year, and I was moving through this one, so it's a little bit late, but it is what it is. Again, life happens, and crochet is supposed to be fun. So no stress. We get it done when we get it done. So finally, winter wreaths are done. So here is my winter wreath. And here he is. So when I think of, I wanted my winter wreath to be winter colors, which is, I think of blue and whites and snowmen and stuff like that. I was trying to keep Christmas out of it, so that's why I don't have anything Christmassy in here. I plan to keep this hung up until March. So, you know, March when my spring wreath comes back out again. So this is what I decided to do. So I will go over what some of these things are that I used for this. So first of all, for the covering for the outside, this cover is just a single crocheted back and forth and then sewn on here afterwards. You make a very long strip and then you sew it on here. And the yarn that I used for the outside is this Loops and Threads. Somebody told me how to pronounce this and I should have gone back and looked, but I think it's Basel. I'm just gonna let you guys look at it. This is it. And the colorway is, oh, it's just color number 15. And I bought some more of this for something else. These were on clearance at Michael's. It's a Loops and Threads brand. I don't know if they carry it anymore. I don't know if it was being discontinued and that's why it was on clearance. But that's what the covering is for the outside. And then the snowman, because of the time when I started this, I was still in our rental and I didn't have all my yarn with me. I did have to go and buy a skein of white yarn, which the white is here. This is also Loops and Threads, and this is the Soft Classic. And yes, I've been using this skein for other things. I didn't use all of that for this. And then once we got back home again and I got all my stuff back from storage, I had bought a pom-pom maker early in the summer. I had one of those 40% off coupons for 2 items at Michael's, and I went there for something very specific that day, and I had another 40% off coupon, and I had the pom-pom makers on my list of things to get at Michael's when I had a coupon or where they were on a good sale. So I got this set of pom-pom makers at the time in the summer, and so it was good to have them back to make these pom-poms. So some of these are using the white that I just showed you, and some of these are with some Stylecraft Special, like this one's Stylecraft Special DK that I had from my stash. And the snowman, the white is the Loops and Threads Soft Classic. His scarf and his hat are Stylecraft Special DK, and the pom-pom again is Stylecraft Special DK, and I just use safety eyes for his eyes. The pattern that I use for these snowman is from Grayson Yarn, and her pattern actually had arms. I didn't make arms, which the way the pom-poms are laid out, it doesn't really matter. I actually planned on using some stick arms, but I don't think they would really show if I did add them on here, so I didn't put any on. But the Grace and Yarn pattern did include the hat and the scarf. So no, not the scarf. The scarf I winged it, but it did include the pattern for the hat. So that is my winter wreath, and I'm really happy with how he came out. I think he is super cute. And I actually did make another snowman. I made a smaller one and decided that it wasn't big enough, so this is my second snowman that I made. So yeah, I think it's super cute the way it came out. So I'm going to link Rebecca over at Yarn and Pajamas in the description box below. I've seen her winter wreath. It is fabulous. She says it's the favorite of all of her wreaths. And if I had to pick my favorite of all of Rebecca's wreath, I'm going to pick the fall one. I think that hers was so cute. And if you didn't see her wreaths over the course of the season, she does a recap on her video also of her wreaths. You know, in this case, she's given me all of her stuff first. So she hasn't actually seen my winter final reveal yet. So yep, she'll see it when she catches up on this video when I send it to her shortly. So yeah, I'm going to say that my favorite of hers was fall. And for mine, if I had to choose my favorite from mine, I think I would say probably my spring one. It had a lot of color, and I liked the colorful components of it. It's a really close tie with this winter one though. I like my winter one too. So I want to thank you all for watching our videos for this collaboration. I want to thank Rebecca for doing it with me, and it's been really fun. And again, I hope that we're going to do something again in the future and we'll get to know each other better. And yeah. So thank you everyone for watching and subscribing and liking my videos, and I'll see you next time on Lori Hooks. Bye everyone.